Hey guys, welcome. Let me pin this so my hand is free. Okay. It just looks weird. Does it look weird? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Super thrilled you tuned in today. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how I was able to save thousands of pounds as an international student in the UK. So basically my best practices, the things I did that helped me save some pounds here and there. The reason why I'm sharing this video is because I've gotten a whole lot of questions about this. Like I get messages all the time, Chidera, how do you save money, or how did you save money as a student? So I'm going to share everything here, and then you pick out the things you feel you can apply, because not everything I state here would be applicable to you, because we all have our individual experiences. So I hope you're able to pick something from this video. And before we go on, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, okay? And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Click the like button, like this video, because I always serve premium content. All right. I have a mailing list, or I have two mailing lists. One is my exclusive mailing list, which I call my VIP list, where I share life skills tips, advice on money, relationships, life in general. You can click the link in the description box to join my exclusive mailing list. And then there's the CP communities mailing list, which is for international students, where you get all resources, information, tips, everything you need to succeed at your studies in the UK and just to help you settle into the UK. That is free to join. So click the links in the description box below and sign up. Join the mailing list, because there's so much that I have to share, and sometimes these things don't always make it to YouTube. I just tend to share it in my exclusive mailing list. So make sure you join it. Yeah, that's it. Let's get started. Okay, like I said, if you've not liked this video, please hit the like button, okay? So the very first thing I want to talk about with regards saving money is that you need to have a healthy relationship with money. First of all, I sound like one of these aspire to perspire people, but it's really important that you have a good perception of money. Like, you don't see money as something that you can attain, or you don't see money as something that you always have to spend. Do you understand? So you need to have that good mindset when it comes to money. That money is a tool. Money is what you would use to live a good life. That it is possible for you to attain a certain level of comfort, a certain standard of living. That it's possible to increase your streams of income and all of that, right? I just want you to have a positive mindset regards money. And one other thing I want to emphasize before I go into the video is it's really important that you invest in your personal finance education. Personal finance literacy is very important. So take up classes when you can with maybe personal finance experts, just to learn more about how your money works. Sometimes, let me tell you, you might not pick anything new out of this session, but out of these sessions, but what I've realized from my own experience is the more I invest in my personal finance education, the more optimistic I become about money. It just helps my mind, basically. So even if it's the only thing you get out of your personal finance education investments that you make, then trust me, it is worth it, because that mindset orientation is a big one if you want to scale your finances and if you want to save money better. So there are two ways to save, right? If you want to save money, it's either you increase your income or you decrease your expenses. You have to do one of the two, or you do both, right? For me, it was mostly decreasing my expenses, and that's how I was able to save money, which I'm going to cover in detail in this video. Right, so the very first way I saved money as a student back then in the UK is frugal living. I am not fancy, as you can tell, being on this channel watching me. I don't do fancy things. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with being fancy. That's why I said everybody's unique, okay? That's not what I tend to spend my money on. I don't spend money on outfits. I don't spend money on hair so much. I don't spend money on going out. I don't spend money on things. I literally just live a very frugal lifestyle. I stay in my house. I repeat clothes as much as I can. So that's one way I definitely save money, because I cut costs on a lot of things. That's there's so many things that I don't spend on a monthly basis. I just lived within my means, okay? I just felt I need to put that out there before we go into the more practical steps. So the next thing I want to mention, which I think if you're watching any video on saving money, budgeting must be mentioned. However, what I want to say here is I don't budget the way people say you should budget out there. It doesn't work for me. I don't have a spreadsheet that I'm following letter for letter. You know, I draft out everything for the week, and then I'm following it, and then I go back and I review it. Trust me, that process works for a lot of people. Like, it's good you have that spreadsheet, you know, where you are putting in your expenses, tracking where money is going to, and all of that. I did not used to do this. It's recently I started doing it with an app. Like, I just track my expenses with an app. I'll share on that later. But the way I used to budget then is just having a certain amount set aside for my expenses. So after living in the UK for a while, I realized that, okay, yeah, I already knew myself, I don't spend money on clothing and all of that. But the thing I spent money on the most was food and phone bills, okay? When I realized this, at the beginning of every month, I just tell myself that this is the amount I'm keeping aside for ordering food, and this is the amount I'm keeping aside for buying credits to call my family. Now, the reason why I spent so much on phone bill, it was not really data, it was more phone calls. And that's because WhatsApp calls for where my family stays, internet connectivity is not always strong. And if you stay in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. It's not always strong. So I couldn't have like good reception when I called them from the UK via WhatsApp call. So that wasn't working. And I needed to talk to my family almost on a daily basis because they were my coping mechanism. So I used to spend a whole lot. I used to spend like close to £10 within 3 days to talk to my family. Because when I talk to them, I spend like 2 hours on the phone at a time. So that was what I spent money a lot on. And then food. So that was how I budgeted, okay? I just told myself this amount that I'm keeping aside for that particular thing. So when I'm ordering food in a month, sometimes I tell myself £40 to order food for this month. So when I make the first order of food that month, I just make a mental note, or I write it down, or I spend £12 on food. And then when I make another £12, I say, okay, that's £24 we have, you know, I think £16 to go. And then once I just hit that, I know that my ordering for that month has ended. No more, I can't, like, it can't even happen except I get someone order me food. So that's just what I did. Then my phone bill as well, when I realized that, oh, I've hit my budget, like for that particular expense, because those were my major expenses. When I realized I've hit my budget for that, I just stop. Like, I don't call them anymore. I have to now resort to just focusing on chat. But then because talking to my family is very important to me, or was very important to me, and I had to look for alternatives. This is also what I want to mention, looking for alternatives for your service provider. So what's the best value on the market? And then I started asking questions. I realized the network I was on was not the best for international phone calls. Like, their rates were not the best on the market. So I had to switch my call line. So I got another SIM just to call my family. God, I'm dedicated. So I switched from GiveGaff. I used GiveGaff for data. Then I now got a Leica mobile SIM for international calls. They have one of the best rates on the market. So if you want to get a GiveGaff SIM, click the link in my description box, and you get £5 credit when you use my link on your GiveGaff SIM. That's just by the way. Another thing I want to mention that with regard saving money is just finding a way to manage black tax. I feel like I've mentioned this in some of my videos, but black tax, especially as international students, especially as first generation international students, might be one of the things that would hinder you from actually hitting your savings goal or from actually saving money. So it's really, really important that you find a way to manage this. I already have a more detailed video on this. You can check it out. So the next thing that I did to save money was to have separate accounts. So I had 2 bank accounts in the UK. I had one with Lloyds Bank and one with Barclays Bank. The story behind this is crazy. So the reason why I had 2 accounts, it's not like I intended to have 2 accounts. When I was opening my account with Barclays, the name on the account was not showing all my full names. So they just put Gift Peters, and I wanted Gift Chiderians to show on the bank name, and that's because I was to send that name to my sponsors because I was on a scholarship. So I was to send my bank details to my sponsors, and all my 3 names needed to reflect, or else I might have issues receiving payment. So I went to Barclays. I'm like, yo, I need my 3 names to reflect on this account. They're like, yo, we put your initials. So they put GC Peters. I'm like, no, it needs to be Gift Chidera Peters in full. They said no, they can't do anything about that. So I just went to Lloyds and I opened my account with Lloyds, and so that was how I ended up with 2 bank accounts. But it actually helped me a great deal. So I decided to use one account for savings, then I used one account for expenses. Whenever I'm doing shopping online, I always use one of those accounts, okay? So I don't use the two for expenses. In one particular account, money does not leave. Money only goes into that account. And then in the other account, that's where all my expenses, that's where even my salary, like because I was doing part-time jobs, that's where my salary goes to. Everything was in that account. Then I'll now remove out of it and put in my savings account. Then every other expenses, every other direct debits, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Spotify, everything was going out of one account. So I knew that the money I dropped in the other account was going to stay that way. Nothing was going to go out of it. Another thing that helped me save money as an international student in the UK was just going for the best option, like the best deal for me. So I used to buy clothes then on Boohoo, and I used to buy clothes on Pretty Little Thing. So I noticed that I had shopped like twice on Boohoo, and I paid £4.99 for delivery. On Pretty Little Thing, I paid I think £4.99 as well on delivery, like twice. And I'm like, that is £10, like on just delivery minus the cost of the thing I bought. I realized that they had these yearly shipping, yearly delivery thing where you pay £10 for the whole year and you always get your next day delivery. I'm like, okay, that's a bargain. That is way cheaper than me buying outfits every single time and having to pay for delivery. Okay, so I paid for this yearly delivery stuff on Boohoo, and I think Pretty Little Thing as well. So that just helped me cut cost on delivery every single time I'm purchasing an item. All right, the way I save money is to invest and to save back home. Okay, as you must know, if you've already done your research, growing your money in the UK can be one of the hardest things, because even if you find investment options, the interest rates on these things are pretty low, like they are pretty low. But then when you save back home, when you invest back home, you might find out that there are better opportunities with great investment rates, with great interest rates for you. For example, I do what they call agro investment. So basically you invest in agriculture, and then after a certain period of time, you get your money back with your interest. But of course, before I started investing, I did my due diligence. I understood how the whole thing works. So the rule of investing, when you want to do that, ensure you understand the process. If you don't understand how your money grows and how you get your interest back, then you should probably not put your money in it. I invest money on this platform in different agricultural tools, instruments, English, in different agricultural agricultural farms, is that not tautology? In different farms, and then they have good interest rates. Some had as high as 30% interest for the farming cycle, some had 32% interest, some had 35%, while some were like 10%, some were like 15%. It just depends on which I'm able to invest into at the time. But then also, I know someone will mention, oh, what about the devaluation of the naira? So because in order to invest back home, I had to convert my pounds to naira. That meant that I was on the lower end of the exchange fluctuations. But still, even if you weigh the pros and the cons, keeping pounds in your account that is doing nothing is not going to gain any, like not a single pound will be added on that money. You won't get any interest. And then converting that same money and putting it in your naira investments back home, even if the naira depreciates with the interest rate, for example, the one I was doing with 30% interest rate, I still would have more than I put initially. Do you get? Like, another thing I did was to save money back home. So I used another app as well to save money in Nigeria, and then to save money back home. Now that I'm in English, I used another app to save money, and then I was able to save money in dollars. So that app allows me to, even if you're in Nigeria, it allows you to save money in dollars and earn interest on that money. So that was one thing I did. When I realized, I'm like, how can I save money and just at least get money, get interest on my money? I realized saving in pounds in my UK accounts wasn't going to earn me any interest. So it was to convert the money and then move it to that savings platform and then save in dollars and earn interest in dollars. Okay, so another way I saved money in the UK was to work. Like, I walked out my salvation. I worked everywhere. If I could work it, I did. Okay, I worked. Like, whoosh, my legs were very, very active that time. And it also helped me keep fit and trim. So you might want to try to walk. If I say it's under 30 minutes walking distance, I walk it. That's me. Like I just liked it because I felt it was also a way for me to just, you know, keep my fitness levels high or something. So I walked a lot. The only time I even spent money on transport was when I had to take the train out of Portsmouth, maybe when I'm going to London or going to some other place. But if it was within Portsmouth, 80% of the time you will find me walking. The only time I may not walk back is maybe if I go to the shops like Asda or Lidl and then I'm coming with heavy bags and I just order an Uber home. But ideally you would find me walking all the time. Another way I saved money was to do bulk buying. So I don't just buy things one item per time. Like I buy things in bulk, because sometimes when you buy in bulk, it's you save just maybe like £1.50 than just buying them in pieces. So I used to do bulk buying for like my food stuff, especially the ones that were not perishable. I used to do bulk buying a lot. Another way I save money is targeted savings. So I don't just save money for the sake of it. When I have money, I know what I'm saving that money for. When I wanted to travel to Paris last year, I opened up savings for that. Like I just knew the particular amount I was saving for that trip and I was saving towards it. So I think it's also important that you try to have targeted savings. Like you don't just save money for the sake of it. Have a reason for why you're keeping that money. And then also back to having personal finance education, you know, there's also something called emergency fund, which you should have savings for, or you should start cultivating the habit of having savings for emergency, for things that will just come up and, you know, eat out of your money. All right, another way that I saved money as a student in the UK is not buying textbooks. Throughout my study time, I did not buy a single textbook in the UK, and that's because your library is there. My library was there. So I took books from the library, and then the ones I couldn't find, I asked my classmates. Sometimes they had it and I could just borrow it for a while. So I did not really spend money on textbooks. So you don't need to spend money on textbooks if you don't have it. But then if you must buy a textbook, I would advise that you go for fairly used one. Like I don't see the point buying a new book, to be honest. We need to save the planet. Save the planet! Recycle books. So there's no point. I feel you should just buy a fairly new one. You can get it on places like Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree or something. Like just look for fairly used ones and just save money. Another thing that helped me save money, which I think I've mentioned in a video of mine, is just turning down invitations to go out. And then in my defense, the lockdown actually helped me not go out as much, because I was almost like throughout my time in the UK, I was in lockdown, all right? So, but then even before the lockdown, I got a lot of invites then with my friends. Oh, let's hang out here. Oh, let's do that. And then I just do the calculation. Hanging out there is going to cost me like £50, sometimes £40, sometimes 30. I'm like, no, sis, I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass on this. Bless your heart. So you might want to pass on, is it pass on or pass out? You might want to skip those invitations when you know it doesn't fit within your budget, or when you know that, for example, the only times I went out was when I realized, oh, I had not really touched my eating out budget. So then I just decided to just go there. I just decided to go out and then spend that eating out budget. Also, one more thing with regards to this budgeting thing, I don't just only make mental budgets in my head. Sometimes I write them down on my phone or my notes app, just so I know how much I have set aside for everything. And then also, even for my groceries, I used to have a specific amount. So for African food monthly, I used to budget like I think £70, because you know African food is expensive. Then for my shopping at Lidl or Asda, I used to budget like £50. But most of the things I buy, I don't finish it in the month, so it usually takes me like 2 months to go through food items worth 140 or £150. Okay, so I had budgets for each of these. The only thing I'm saying regarding the way I budgeted was that I did not put it on a spreadsheet and then have it for like weekly expenses. No, the way I budgeted was monthly. So I don't really care how much I spend in the week, as long as I do not exceed my monthly budget. Do you understand? So yeah, I just felt to mention that. Okay. We have come to the end of this English. We have come to the end of this video. Let me know if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you picked one or two things that you can apply to your own process of saving money, and then maybe I'll do another video on apps that I use to save money and grow money, make money. Just let me know. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. I feel like I'm forgetting something else that I do to save money. What else do I do to save money? Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a thumbs up, like this video, share, comment. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye bye.